Hello. Today we're going to be delving a little bit more into the paranormal side of things. Basically, how I got started, what I've been doing, how things have changed very drastically since starting to paranormal investigate. Yeah, I just sort of wanted to make a little video and delve a little bit deeper into this because I hosted a panel at Pax a few weekends ago. And I feel like, as the host, I wanted to let everyone else sort of shine. So I didn't really talk too much about my side of things. I went in a little bit for some of the points, but I really felt like I didn't really put out my side of the story, my things. So this video, we're going to go through a few of those points. I've got my speech here. I accidentally threw out my speech, so I thankfully have it online. And yeah. So the Pax panel was Ghost Hunting in Real Life versus in-game. I'm not going to focus too much about the in-game, the Phasmo side of things. I just mainly want to focus on the paranormal side of things. So that's what we're going to be doing. And my Pax panel is also up on my YouTube channel, so feel free to go watch that because I also have a bunch of amazing content creators who go paranormal investigating too, and you should check them all out. Oh, that's actually not my speech. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. So to begin with, I sort of had everyone introduce themselves and talk about some of their favorite paranormal investigators. So I didn't touch on mine. So basically, I grew up watching Ghost Hunters, which is, I think it's really funny to grow up watching a show like that and then to delve into paranormal investigating. So I would have to say that like Ed and Lorraine Warren are some of my favorite paranormal investigators. They're like, you know, like God tier. I love to watch like Sam and Colby, of course, Twin Paranormal. I like to watch The Boys. I also really like it when Selena Spooky Boo and Call Me Chris go out and do their paranormal investigating, and also Glam and Gore Mikey when she's done some paranormal investigating in the past. Like, they're probably the top people that I watch either on YouTube or like aspire and take like influence from when it comes to paranormal investigating. And if I never used to watch those on YouTube back in the day, I wouldn't be doing this myself. The next point that I covered on my Pax panel was like what drew you into paranormal investigating. So again, like I said, I grew up watching Ghost Hunters with my mum, and then always sort of had a thing for the paranormal because my nan's house is haunted, and it terrified me as a kid to go to her house, sleeping at her house, and it even also spooked my older brother, who, you know, like if he gets freaked out, you know, like shit's whack because he doesn't freak. So that terrified me even more as a kid. And for some reason, it always seemed to be something about her hallway. She had a massive long hallway and the toilet was off of the hallway. So you would have to go like halfway down that hallway just to go to the toilet. So always turning the light switch on. And unfortunately, it was a hallway that had 2 light switches at either end. So you could, you know, play a prank on somebody and turn off the light switch if you wanted to be a little bit of a funny bugger. But yeah, so staying at my nan's house as a child and as a teenager always felt really uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep. And then after high school, I had to move in to my nan's house. So yeah, that's when a lot of my paranormal experiences really started. So my brother also moved in to my nan's house along with my mum. And some of the crazy things that we experienced. So we would also experience different things, but we would also experience things together, if that makes sense. So like personally for me, if I was up late in my room, I used to have like, my room was a study, so it was like the smallest room in the house. So I had shit like everywhere. As a teenager, very messy girl. And I had all my necklaces hanging on my door handle, which was like a door. Oh, they're really old twist knobs, like the door handles. So I had all my necklaces hanging on the inside of my room, like on the doorknob, because I didn't really have anywhere else to put them. And one night, like one of my necklaces was just swinging like this, like swinging. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, that makes no sense. And I was like, can you stop that? And it just stopped. Like, no wind, no one was in the room. It was late at night, and I was just like, that's just fucked. Like, I can't explain that. Creepy. Even just the presence of being watched, to the point that sometimes I would have to sleep with like a nightlight on just so I could have a vision of my room, or I would physically have to tell things to leave me alone. Like, stop watching, leave me alone. And in past relationships, I would apparently sit up in the middle of the night and I would start laughing, or I would like turn to my partner and be like, are you scared? And I would have no recollection of doing that. I've never been a sleepwalker, a sleep talker. The bed used to shake sometimes. And anytime that I would apparently talk in my sleep, I would wake up feeling extremely drained the next day. So yeah. And then it started happening to my brother and his partner. Their bed would shake, and she would also start saying some weird things in her sleep. So I don't know, very weird. The front door would unlock and open occasionally when we would all lock and close the front door, because, you know, safety first. And then like one of the things that stands out the most to me is those old school Xbox 360 cameras, when you used to play the games and you'd have like the heat sigils. And I was standing and there was a chair behind me, and there was like a bit of a hallway. Not the hallway, but like a bit of a way to go into another living room and then down to that hallway. My brother was lying on the couch. It was my turn. It was my turn to play a game. Had the heat sigil, so you could see me. Fun fact, I'm like 5'2", and there was like a 6-foot figure standing behind me and slightly to like the left. So you could see my outline, and then you could see the outline of something that wasn't the same heat sigil as me. I'm pretty sure it was like blues and greens, which means cooler. I was like red and orange, which is like a hot temperature. So that really freaked us the fuck out, because we both were like, because we could see it on the tally. We looked at each other, we looked at the tally, looked behind me, looked back, and it was gone. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, so my nan's house, haunted. I do plan to do an investigation there soon. I have taken over some equipment recently and it was going off. My name came out of the spirit box. A bunch of my uncle's names came out of the spirit box. Also some ways that people could die came out of the spirit box, which relates to the area, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that's sort of like the stuff that happened to me at my nan's house that made me think, like, I do believe in the paranormal, and also led me to wanting to like watch YouTubers who do paranormal investigating. So that leads me to starting to do paranormal investigating. So I've been paranormal investigating for just over a year now. I haven't been to too many locations, but I have been going like back to a few of the same places, just because I feel like the more you go to places, the more the spirits know you and the more that you're going to get from them and you can help them. So my first time paranormal investigating, it was live streamed the whole time, and we went to St. Arnaud Convent, which is a really beautiful old building, massive, like extremely massive. And yeah, we slept there for the night, and it was filmed the whole time. During the investigations, us sleeping was filmed. I do not have any of the footage from that because like there's a whole backstory. I have my footage. I haven't done anything with that footage because, again, bit of a backstory that I'm not going to go into. But something happened to me on that first investigation. Actually, two things that happened. One, there is a massive master bedroom, which if you have seen my YouTube video, which I have posted, my first ever paranormal one, that is of the convent, but not this time I'm talking about. That is the second time I've been. So the first time we were leaving that master bedroom, and I'm pretty sure the lights were like flickering before we'd even gone in there and done stuff. So like the room was like active. So we were like leaving the room single file. It's 2 double doors, really old double doors. They're bolted down with those bolts that go into the ground. And Shads walks through. I'm following Shads, but Dewey's behind me. So Shads gets through, all clear. I walk through the door. The door, like one side of the door, the left side, slammed into my back so forcefully that I went flying into Shads. And it closed right in front of Dewey's face. So she saw it happen, hit me in the back really hard. Everyone was like, oh my God, what just happened? Like, people didn't catch it on film, but there was like they didn't directly have the camera on me. I wasn't filming at that time, I don't think. So, and also if we did have the footage, I wouldn't have it because reasons. So, yeah, I had a door slam into my back in that main bedroom. So forceful that like my back ached. We went up later that night and we tested the door. We were trying to kick it, we were trying to push it, we were trying to half lock it just to sort of see the wiggle room to try and debunk like maybe I elbowed the door. But Dewey's like, you didn't touch the door. You were like in the middle of the doorway. Like no one touched the doors. So yeah, we tried to debunk it, but we couldn't. I don't know what to tell you, but the door slammed into my back. And then the second thing that happened was when I came home. Again, this being my first ever paranormal investigation, I tried to take all the precautions that were given to me, that people were telling me to do, but I do not feel like they were done well enough because of the lack of respect, like the lack of like disrespect towards the people who were there and the place. Like, I'm not going to get into details, but something followed me home. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like a spirit guide who came home with me. I don't know if one of the kids from the convent came home with me because one of them did say that they liked me on the spirit box. Yes, I told the spirits that they couldn't come home with me. I was cleansed, but something came home with me. And you're probably like, how do you even know that something came home with you? Well, I have 2 cats. One is currently on the ground here licking herself, so if you hear any weird noises, that's Lacey. As you know, pets are very sensitive, especially cats and dogs. And yeah, I just had this uneasy feeling of something being in the house with me when I came home. Like something, I'll be sitting on the couch and we've got like a couch that we had in the middle of the living room. So like the back wasn't against the wall. And I just felt like there was a presence over my shoulder. Again, like down the hallway, like near my bedroom, like our bedroom, me and my partner's bedroom. And there was one night we were sitting on the couch and I was just like the energy just felt off. And then my partner picked up on it and he was like, what the fuck's going on? Like something doesn't feel right. And then what really set me off was my cat Lexi was sitting, we've got like an L-shaped couch, and she was on the L shape and looking behind me where I felt something watching me, and she was like peeking her head around me to sort of like look at what was behind me. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. Like, don't do that. And then next minute she bolted out of the room opposite end of the house to where she was looking. Like something scared her, and she's a cat that is very aggressive, Like, she will attack people that come into the house if she doesn't like them. Like, she's bipolar, and something freaked her out. And she went running, and that freaked me out, freaked my partner out, and we're like, what the fuck? And then the next day, I messaged my friend, Wolfie, Whimsy Wolfie, who is part of the Spirit Sisters, who I go paranormal investigating with. I messaged her and I was like, yo, something followed me home. Like, what, like, help? Like, help. Like, help me. Because she drove me to that paranormal investigating and we had a really good chat. And she was lovely enough to be like, you need to get this, this, and this. Like, you can get it from our area. So I literally had like a smudge stick Ubered to my house. And I had to cleanse my house, set my intentions, and then it left. So again, I don't know if it was a spirit guide. I don't know if a spirit came home with me, but something followed me home. And that was pretty crazy. So touching on that visit to the St. Arnaud convent last year, we decided to go back, a bunch of us who went that first time. We decided that we needed a redo. It's a beautiful place, really beautiful spirits. Like, it's run by the Sisters of Mercy. Yes, it does have some like gross priests in the chapel because it's got a chapel. But we decided to do a redo and we went back for a whole weekend with a few extra people that hadn't been. And I caught some things that I can't explain on my DJI. So going back to that bedroom, that big master bedroom where I had the door slam into my back, this time we had a group of us. Again, you can see this on my YouTube videos from the St. Arnaud convent. I've got part 1 and part 2 because we did spend the weekend there. I caught a whisper of a woman saying, shut the door, in the room where the door slammed into my back. So I can't explain that. It's kind of crazy. Again, multiple people were filming in that room. Nobody else has this whisper. And I believe that it is probably like one of the nuns. I do want to send this through. I haven't had a chance to send it through to Dolly and Loz. So Dolly runs the Cut in Paranormal and Loz is the medium we use. So both of them would be very familiar with the spirits there. And I'm wondering if they can have a listen and if they know that voice. Like, maybe they can be like, oh, that is Sister Mary or something like that. That'd be really cool. But yes, I caught some whispers, quite a few, which, yeah, I can't explain and nobody else caught. But then the other people also caught whispers and knocks that I didn't catch. Like, it's crazy that we were using different equipment and we picked up very different things. It's kind of cool. It's really interesting to go back and, you know, watch footage and be like, wow, I didn't hear that. I had no idea that was happening. Could this have been so-and-so talking? Again, I've touched on this in my YouTube video, but basically at that investigation in St. Arnaud, that weekend one, I was told that, you know, I'm a witch. We love that. We already knew that. But just to have a little bit of confirmation, and then also diving into the whole like psychic side of things, and then finding out that my great-grandmother was psychic. So yeah, as you can probably sort of see, I finally got an altar set up. So this is like my little space. I would love to not have it in my streaming room, but I only really have the space that's allocated to me. So not only do I have a bunch of like ghost hunting equipment from like your spirit boxes, your EMF readers, I've got like a voice recorder, I've got a spirit chat, which is like an Ovilus. I do also have a bunch of witchy sort of things. So I have like, you know, like my pendulum, which I haven't brought to an investigation because I don't feel the need to. I have felt drawn to bring my tarot cards, and I also recently got a scrying mirror, which could be interesting to take to an investigation. I will be doing a video soon on my equipment and how it works, because I have had some questions from people asking me about like, you know, like what is that method you're doing with the headphones? And I'm like, oh, that's the Estes method. But I haven't really delved into explaining the equipment and the methods we use. So a video will be coming out soon. I'm just getting some new equipment for my birthday, so I want to include that. And then I will make a video. Again, I'm not an expert on these things. There are plenty of other YouTubers that probably have videos on this or explain it in their videos. But I'm just going to do my best to help educate my community and help educate you guys. So another part of my panel was delving into like being a believer versus being a skeptic. And again, all opinions are welcome. I'm never going to tell somebody they have to believe, or like I don't expect people to tell me that I shouldn't be believing in this stuff. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But basically for me, growing up with my nan's house being haunted, I've also seen my dead cat a few times too. As like growing up, I've seen my dead cat, and I've also now heard my other dead cat. Crazy, I know. But basically, I would have said that like sitting at like a 7.5 out of 10 on the believer scale, mainly because I hadn't really used any equipment and all that fun stuff. So just going off of the experiences I've had at my nan's house, what I've seen, heard, seeing my dead cat, all that fun stuff, to now being a paranormal investigator of like coming close to 2 years, I would say that I'm sitting at like a 9 out of 10. I would like to physically see something with my own eyes, not out the corner of my eye, because I've definitely seen things out the corner of my eye, but I would like to actually see something with my eyes to really take me up to like a 10 out of 10. Like I've been touched. That's another story. It's a story for another day. I mean, I might go into it. I've had that spiderweb electricity feeling, like someone's grabbed my hand, especially at these places that have kids. But yeah. And then like on my most recent paranormal investigation, I was grabbed in an area that, you know, I should not be grabbed. I'm not going to spoil that just because it will be in an upcoming video. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and sort of explain a little bit more about myself. So if you did see the panel and you're now following me, like this is a little bit more about me. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to answer them. Please pop them down below. If you would like to see me like ghost hunt in a certain location, also let me know. Again, I work with the Spirit Sisters, which are an amazing Aussie group of paranormal investigators, and yeah, I normally just tag along with them. But yeah, after the panel, we've been invited to some pretty cool places. I've met some pretty cool people, and I'm open to doing collabs. So I don't really know what the future holds for 2026, but like, yes, there's going to be more paranormal content. And yeah, like hopefully I can just keep working on my little like psychic witchy side of things, because I feel like the more that I've opened up now, the better I'm getting on the equipment. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.